another stream. We're doing Fatal Bullet again. I've decided I'll come back to this game because I do have some fond memories of it. But I want to see what I've missed out on. I'm just gonna go with the normal pillow, whoever joined the stream just now. But I just came back from vacation on Hawaii. Oh, hello, Unturned. How you doing? Just gonna check what my inventory is. I'm gonna see what equipment I have. Okay, now why do I have the sword equipped? Why do I have the sword equipped? Move that. Hello, Haruhi. I just say I'm just gonna come back to this game to see what I missed out on. That's why I'm streaming it. I'm not sure what kind of video I'd put up next. Probably a review. Maybe I'll just finish up with Dead Cells, because I just got it, so I'm gonna go through it, I guess, and do a review on it. That'd be something to look forward to, I guess. Oh, damn. Man, Haru, whenever you get a PS4, we gotta play together, man. Seriously, it sucks that you don't have one. Because you used to have one, but you said that the people at Job Corps ruined it, like, just broke it and everything. But it's a really good game. It's just that it does have some problems in terms of story. Well, that don't sound sweet, now does it? Oh, that sucks. Well, that's good. At least you got your last paycheck. In general. That's good. Wait, no, who are my partners? Let's see. Wait, Shirley? But yeah, Unturned, once I finish up with Fatal Bullet here, like after maybe like an hour or so, then we could hop on Far Cry 5. I just gotta take care of some stuff right after I do Fatal Bullet, but after that, then we can do some Far Cry 5 if you're down. Sorry, Shirley, but I'm gonna have to give your position to Len. Let's see. Let's see. What difficulty can I put this on? I'm gonna just check the field to see what difficulty I put this all on. Cause I don't remember what difficulty I put it all on. Cause I haven't played this game for like a couple months now. And I'm not really sure if I want to get that DLC. It doesn't really like seem my cup of tea, to be honest. And like, Fable is a great game, it's just that they didn't let it live up to its full potential. They didn't give it a good story at all. The whole like, the concept of the game was pretty fun. I liked the whole gameplay loop. It didn't feel too repetitive, although there is a little bit of that in this game. And the loot system was broken. You'd always get trash loot no matter how tough an enemy you fight and defeat. You always get trash loot, and then you're stuck with upgrading things, and then you run out of materials constantly, even though you think you have enough, you pretty much don't at times. And I feel like this game could have done a little bit better in terms of the loot system, the story, some of the characters, just a little bit, mainly Kirito, he's always a trash character. But other than that, I thought the game was really fun. It did have great gameplay as well. That's why I liked the most about this game. The full gameplay, it always felt fun to me. That's why I decided to pre-order this game in the first place, because I knew I would at least have some fun in it, and I ended up having even more fun in it. But there are some stupid parts of the game, such as the story and loot system that I just mentioned. But other than that, Fable is a pretty decent game, and I do recommend it. I do wish that people would give it a shot a little bit more than what they see it for. So I do think that this game is a little bit trash, but it's not trash to the point where you just can't even play it at all. It still has some aspects that do work properly. Man, Fortnite Save the World is pretty much different at that point though, because it's just one of those free to play things, but the whole Save the World part is the mode that you actually have to pay for in order to get early access, which who knows when they're actually going to release that actual game, because, well, Fortnite just isn't the same since they added Battle Royale. It wasn't intended to be Battle Royale at all in the first place. It was meant to be that zombie survival and shit and all that. Like some other games out there that have that kind of system where you have to survive against like a horde of enemies or whatever while building a fort and surviving in there. It's kind of like that, but they're trying to... Well, it never happened in 2018. Who knows if it's going to happen this year? I kind of doubt it. At this point, I don't really care. I do want to try Save the World, but I don't want to pay for the early access. I want to just wait for it to release for free already. But it's been like a couple years now, hasn't it? We've been waiting for a couple years. And they always keep delaying it or whatever. So I can just care less. But as long as they're delaying it, then that does mean that they're working on it. But then again, kind of doesn't feel like they're working on it, because now they have Battle Royale out nowadays, and they've been working on that a little bit more than Save the World, I feel like. So they could pretty much care less about what they originally crafted, or what they were supposed to be crafting in the first place. Oh, come on. got a heal, huh? Huh? No, you ain't got no healer. You ain't got no healer. No, you ain't got no healer. That's why I take your shit and leave. You ain't get no healing today, bitch. Hell no. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I feel like Fateable was okay. It's a 7 out of 10, I feel like, because of the problems I just mentioned. But also because of the weapon enhancement and transmute and the other systems in it. The weapon enhancement system was cool, but there are some parts that you couldn't even access, mainly the locking a weapon feature for the weapon enhancement system. There is no way to even lock a weapon, and they would always be locked if you were trying to enhance them. You couldn't even unlock them. It was a weird thing, and they never had a button to even unlock them at all. So that system I never even liked at all, because I could never really enhance the weapon I wanted to use all the time. I always had to stick with the weapon I didn't like, that always had the most damage, and I hated that. It was just so unbalanced of a loot system that makes each of the damage rates and everything for all of the weapons in the game so poor. The weapon system works fine, but the balancing for their stats is not great at all. It's very piss poor, and it's just not even balanced. It was broken at times. Well, mainly the loot system was broken at times, because you'd always get shit loot. You'd never get anything good. That's why I hate about loot shooters, because they don't actually work on the fucking loot system in the first place. They just add one, and they don't even work. They just put it in the game, and that's it. But whereas when we're talking about Borderlands, that's a different situation, because in Borderlands, they actually work on their shit, unlike other games. With Borderlands, they actually work on the loot system. They make it balanced. They make it feel like it's a real loot system, not just some run-of-the-mill type stuff. So basically what you're saying is they're reintroducing the same old stuff, just like fixing it more and more, just adding different pieces of it that haven't been there before. That's what you're saying? And that feels like a lot what I've been playing recently for some games out there. That's why I kind of don't like video games out as much as I did before, because they're all shit nowadays. Companies don't even give a shit about the games anymore. It's like, video games are supposed to be this huge thing. They're going to be this huge thing, but now, there's some people out there that are just blinded by video games being like video games always have to have good graphics. No, that's not the case. People think that they have to have the best graphics. They have to have everything there in order for it to be a good game. That's not true. You can have at least like 2 to 3 things for it to have a good thing. Wait, Hatsune Miku game on the Switch? Okay, I'm gonna buy that. Thanks for letting me know, already. Now I got another backlog to fill. I got more of a backlog to fill. God damn it, Haruki. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm not gonna get into Alicization yet. I'm gonna wait for it to be finished first. Then I'll think about it. I'll definitely try to game out, because I do like the SEO games. They are pretty fun, and they do have, like, a little bit better of stories. Not Fatal Bullet, though. Fatal Bullet's story sucks ass. It's the worst. Even mixed with the Fairy Dance arc, it's just not a good story at all. It's the worst story in the history of SEO storylines. Seriously, that's how bad Fatal Bullet story mode really is. It's the worst. I hate it so much. But yeah, as I was saying, there's so many different blinded people out there in terms of video, like in the video game world, where like they think that video games have to have good graphics, they have to have the best gameplay in the world in order for them to be interested in the game in the first place. But yeah, like, I get why people think that video games should have good graphics nowadays, but at some point, it doesn't really matter. Like, video games don't need to have the best graphics, they just need to have graphics that look good and are up to par at the very least. They don't have to be the best, no. I mean, this game has good graphics, yes. Are they the best? No, there are certainly other games out there that have better graphics. Even some free-to-play games out there, like Warframe, one of my favorite games out there, has fantastic graphics, even on the PS4. Base PS4, to keep in mind, which is the one I have, and on Xbox One, and on the Switch. Even on the Switch, Warframe looks fucking awesome. But yeah, video games don't need to have good graphics, they just need to, like, they don't need to have the best graphics, they just need to have graphics that make it recognizable, to the point where you can actually recognize what objects look like. Not to the point where you can't just recognize anything at all. Oh, and another problem with Fatal Bullet is that there's too many cutscenes. Just way too many. I should have included that in my review. I don't think I did anyway. Might have, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, the old arcade games are really fun. And the game just needs to be fun in general for you to be interested in it. Like, if it's the kind of game, like, let's say, an RPG, like, I love RPGs. And if it's an RPG that looks really fun to me, then I'll get it. If it's an RPG that looks like it's not really worth playing and has, like, bad mechanics from what it looks like, then I probably won't get it. Or maybe I will, I just will wait for a sale maybe, or just wait for it to be like maybe a gift to me or something. Who knows? It just depends on how the game looks when you reveal its gameplay. If it looks fun, then obviously you're gonna be interested in it. But if it's one of those games where they just turn into a slot machine like most games out there, continue Metal Gear, basically you won't be interested in it if they don't have like gameplay that looks fun. If it's gameplay where you have to pay to win, then that's just gonna damage it and you're not gonna get a good fan base for it. You're just gonna make money off of the fucking loot boxes, forcing people to pay to win. That's not how a game should work. How a game should work is by letting the player play they want to play. They should be able to play however they want to play, whenever they want to play. They shouldn't be forced to pay to win. They should be able to get whatever item it is to move to the next level, or level up, or whatever. They shouldn't have to pay to do one simple task. They should just be able to do a mission regularly. They shouldn't have to pay for booster packs. I hate all that crap. It's not like a game at all when people do that in games. It's terrible. That's why I hate video games nowadays. They're just terrible. They don't work properly at all.
あるじゃん。あ、スナイパーだ。あ、スナイパーだ。あ、スナイパーだ。手を貸してくれ。やった。最高ですわ。敵さんのお出ましだ。あ、スナイパーだ。やだ。手を貸してくれ。
Exactly. Exactly, Gunter. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
どうもどうも。スナイパーだ。隠れなきゃ。まだまだいけるぜ。さすが。
They keep the story really unbalanced and not really interesting. They just keep it like really stupid and idiotic, and where the characters just do one thing and they say one thing, but then they turn their backs on it and don't stay for it. That, like, there is ways to make it right, or to do it right and write it correctly, but then there's ways to mess it up. That's what most of the video game storyline writers have done these days. And they don't make their stories correct. They don't, I shouldn't say correct, that's not the right term. I mean, like, they don't make it balanced. They make things seem really stupid. They make things seem like they're really unbalanced, stupid, things that don't make sense at all, and just stories that don't seem interesting whatsoever. That's why I really hate about most of the games out there these days. They just don't give a shit. And most developers nowadays just don't listen to the community. They always go for the exclusivity deals now with Epic. And players are getting demolished on Steam with them being cockblocked by getting no refunds for like Kickstarter funded projects where they actually help those creators out, and those creators turn their backs on the fan base that want the game to do good when it releases, and that company just turns their back on them. And they just go for the exclusivity deal and offer no refunds. And obviously I'm mentioning Shenmue 3 here. Obviously. But that's the problem with video games nowadays, as well as Kickstarter games. Let's say Ritual of the Night excluded, because that game is really good. That company is actually listening to the community. They want the game to improve, they're not going to abandon it. Sure, some things may have not been finished, but that's because they were working on the game alone. Just the core mechanics of it and everything. Now that the game is released, people are loving it. It's got 8 out of 10s, 9s out of 10s, some 10 out of 10s even. Jim Sterling even gave Bloodstained Ritual of the Night a 10 out of 10, because he knew it was a great game. From its music, its artwork, its gameplay. And sure, there's some things in the game that don't seem right, such as the difficulty. It may seem a little easy at first, but I do think that it is a pretty decent game, regardless of what the difficulty is. And in that game, you can even like customize the character that you play as, to the point where like she can have like green skin or like red like eyes with like a black eyes with like a red like pupil and all that. It's like really cool stuff in that game. For the character customization that you could do for the main character, it's really interesting that they did that for the game. And that company really cares about the game, let alone the director himself, Koji Igarashi. He really cared about his game. He really cared. He wanted it to be good. That is an example of a good game right there, let alone a good Kickstarter game, where the company doesn't abandon their fan base, let alone their game. They work on it, they give it the content that it needs to have, and they have to push something back, they'll push it back. That's what they did right. And they had some difficulties, such as the 2.5D elements in the game. That's the difficulty that they had. There's the last switch. Yeah, that's an example of a good game right there. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is definitely a great game that you have to get, no matter what. Yeah, I've already seen some of the Gangale alternative. It is pretty good so far, I like it a lot. And it doesn't have that crappy writing that Reki Kawahara has. And I do think that Reki can improve. It's just I don't think he has. Unless Season 3 is where he actually picks everything up and writes it properly. I don't want to say correctly because that just makes me sound like one of those corporate assholes. But basically, Reki Kawahara doesn't have good writing, I feel. In some aspects, he does have some good points in Season 1 of Sword Art Online, but oh my god, where is the last fucking switch? Oh my god. Oh my god. Hate that part. Always having to look for the fucking switches. Are you kidding me? But yeah, I just don't like Reki Kawahara's writing in SEO. It's just not that great to me. Unless he picks it up in Season 3 and does it properly, then I can excuse that. But the Gangale alternative is really good. I've only seen like 4 to 5 episodes of it, but it is really good so far. I like it a lot. It's really good. Yeah, you want to keep things equal, balanced, stuff like that in your game when you make it. And you want to make sure that the characters are really interesting. You want to make sure the story isn't just some cliche-filled fan-base waiting for something to happen when nothing happens at all. It's just going to be filled with cliches. Not sure if I said that correctly, but whatever. But yeah, you want a game to be built upon actual development. You won't want it to be built on lies. And what happens with Kickstarter is mainly lies. You're just told that you're gonna get this kind of game, you're gonna get a return to form of some sort, like a return to form of Metal Gear, or something like that. And then they turn it into some stupid survival shit, just like what they do with Metal Gear Survive. And then just turns out to be a poor rendition game that tries to be a return to form of some sort, but then fails miserably. It just shoots itself in the foot multiple times, trying to figure out how to not do so, but literally it's so easy to not shoot themselves in the foot, yet they don't even try. And that's the problem with Mighty Number 9. That's why it failed. They didn't give it more development time. They just... I don't know what went wrong in that game, like... Man, The Walking Dead is amazing. But the problem with that is that Telltale is already dead. But they at least finished The Walking Dead. Man, I'll never forget the Telltale though. They cared about what they created. And you know, here's another thing I fucking hate. Is that people always say that those story-driven adventure-type games where you don't get to do much except interact a little bit by picking different choices for the characters to do, they say that those aren't really real games. And I don't think that's true. I think they are real games. Even though they might not have too much to do, they still have that interactive experience where you can choose what that character will do. You may not get to choose everything, but you still get to choose some of the major decisions that can drive a character to destruction, or drive a character to a bench of fallen teammates, whatever it may be. That's what I like about those games. They keep you hooked, they have great, unique stories, really interesting art design, and there may not be too much gameplay, obviously. That's not the point that they're trying to go for. They're trying to make sure that the player is interested in their story, that they have to tell things to gain. That's why I like those kinds of story-driven adventure type games. There may not be too many choices, but there may not be too many gameplay mechanics, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game. What means it's a bad game is that the content is either good or bad. If it's bad content, then obviously it's not a great game. If it's good or great content, then it's a good or great game. I just hate it when people say that those story-driven adventure type games aren't really that good. When they are good, and that they are real video games. They are. I mean, look at Detroit Become Human. That's a really good game right there. You know why? Because it has really good characters, a really good story, and it has that interactive experience. It may not have too much, like player control, but at least gives the player the opportunity to control what a character does. They can control where a character goes. They can control what a character says. Anything that a character can do. Either what a character does, says, or wherever a character goes. They can still control that aspect in those games. They not be able to run and gun and shoot down enemies and all that. Not that much anyway. But they still have that aspect of like really interesting storytelling in those games. That's why I like them. In fact, not just Fatal Bullet that not just Fatal Bullet has a battle system, it's also TO game series. Those ones also have battle systems, such as Realization. That one has a very bad loot system, as well as Typos. Same thing for the other STO games before that, Lost Song and Hollow Realization. The loot system isn't too great as well. That's one thing that they seem to have. That is well, I wouldn't say they're as broken as Fatal Bullet. I'd say they're just a little. In some aspects, they can be worked on, but they're not too bad to the point where it's like Fatal Bullet bad. And I mean Fatal Bullet bad because Fatal Bullet's loot system is very piss poor. Let's say you have a 300 damage weapon, and then you defeat a level 127 enemy, and then you drop a level 900 weapon, and that damage rate is like 1,372. but then you're given a weapon that doesn't do that much damage. Instead, you're given a weapon that is level like 200 and only does like 597. It doesn't do as much as you thought it would do. That's how poor the damage rate system for the loot system in this game really is when it comes to the weapons. And not just the weapons, sometimes it can be the other stuff, mainly it's weapons. I feel like everything else is just fine, only like a few small things could be worked on. But it's mainly the weapon system that is broken in terms of stats, as well as the loot drop system. That is also very broken. Mainly the loot drop system is really broken. And it could have been worked on, but they decided not to work on it. And they still haven't even fixed it to this day. Even after all the updates that it's had, with all of its DLC out now, they still haven't fixed it. And I'm very disappointed in them. Bandai Namco did not do a great job with this game's loot system, nor did they do a great job with the weapon system in general. It did not do well at all. They do not care about this game. I just feel like that Reiki Kawahara's part in writing the story for the game could have been improved on as well. But there were also way too many cutscenes, and that they couldn't play back on. Oh, they could have just made it a movie instead, animated movie. That's what I feel like Fable is. Just think about it now, looking back on all the cutscenes. They could have easily made this shit like 1 or 2 anime movies. Like, the first movie could have ended up here in like in the SBC Fugal, and then the second movie could be all of the DLC, the first, second, third, and then the expansion DLC, which was its own like $20 price, not in the season pass for some fucking reason. But yeah, they could have made 2 movies out of this game easily, but they didn't. Kinda wish they did, because there's too many cutscenes in this game. Just way too many, and the characters aren't really interesting to me, to be honest. Itsuki, I think that was his name, but yeah, he wasn't really too good of a character. I feel like he didn't make sense at all. I feel like the custom characters, the way it was written, the custom character, I feel like it was alright, but I feel like I feel like you should have had player choice in this game, like they said in the trailers of this game. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Bandai. You did not give player choice in this game. There's no player choice at all. None of your choices matter whatsoever, like you said in the trailer. None of them matter. Yet you said in the trailer, your choices will matter when playing as your own, very custom character. That did not happen whatsoever. That's a fat fucking lie, and I know it. This game was made on lies. I feel like not too many lies, but I feel like the fact that they lied to the whole fan base, to the whole player base of this game, and said that they will have player-made decisions that would impact the story. Sure, there's player-made decisions, but do they impact? Not at all. Not even once, or twice. In fact, maybe only like 1 inch. Only like 1 decision in the game mattered for the story. It'll be where you pick one character to fight for at the end during the last boss, and then if you pick that one character and then let the other character hanging and you didn't choose to fight for them instead, then that character would die. But if you did the opposite, then the other character would have died. It's one of those stupid decisions that only matter, not everything else. So yeah, none of the decisions made by player mattered at all, except for the very last one where only one of the characters will die if you didn't choose them to fight for. and that last boss was like very hectic to like get the true ending for, because there was too many freaking requirements, and plus the requirements were too boring and they took too long to grind for, including getting an infinity rank up to as high as you need to for each of the characters. Not just one or two characters, but pretty much most of the characters that were in the game at the time that were just for the story mode. You need their affinity level up for in order to get some of those requirements completed to get to the true ending. But it was so bad. It was really bad. And you also needed like tons of key items. You needed to do specific side quests. So it mainly just felt like story quests as well, not just side quests, they mainly felt like story quests. And I hated it so fucking much. It just sucked ass. Like, it was such a boring requirement to do. You always had to be on top of this, you had to be on top of that, and like, getting those requirements done didn't feel fun at all. It felt boring, it felt run down. Felt like a run of the mill type shit. It didn't feel fun at all. It felt like a game that just needed more work. Getting those true ending requirements made me feel like I was playing a game that I did not like at all. I did not like its story. In fact, once you get all those requirements done, I think it was like 7 to 8 to 10 or whatever requirements, like you need to like, let me show you how many characters you need their affinity rank up for. You need your affinity rank up for your partner character. You need the affinity rank up for your characters like best friend from childhood, Zeliska. Yeah, Itsuki was his name. You also need his rank up to like 75% affinity rank for, as well as the other three. You also need his up, hers, her. You mainly needed like, not all of them had to be rank 4, but most of them need to be rank 2, and that's not so difficult. But the amount of them that needed their affinity rank up was so stressful to the point where you didn't even want to play the game. It was just that bad. You didn't even want to play the game because it just took too long to get those requirements done. And then, basically, once you did that, you also had to have specific key items. Like, let's say I go to here, key items. Not the outfits, but you needed like specific key items in order to get the true ending. And it wasn't too much, but I feel like there was multiple, obviously. But you need to complete some of the main story stuff. You also need like you need like some very, very specific stuff that you could not even figure out how to get. Like you need some like type of charm and so many other things, and you just couldn't even figure it out. It was so damn difficult. And there's just so many damn things that you need to fulfill to get the true ending, which sucked ass because it was so boring and stressful, as well as like defeating certain enemies. It took too long at times. I'm like, well, I wouldn't say killing off the enemies took too long, but they were mainly stressful and difficult at the time because you were always given crap loot. And no matter how many times you did it, no matter how many strategies you came up with, it would always take either too long if it was too difficult, or it would just be to a point where you did it so many times where you don't even want to keep doing it, and you just want to drop the game and give up on it. That's what I felt like when playing this game. We tried to go for a true ending, which I feel horrible for doing it for, because this game's true ending is not a very good ending at all. It's just terrible. In fact, just go on my channel and look up the review for Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet that I put out, and just watch the whole thing. That's where I explain some of the other stuff in there. Because that true ending, man, was so bad. So bad. Such a terrible true ending. It was not even worth it at all. Not even a shred was worth getting that true ending. God, this game sucks and done. Yo, on turn, let's meet up on Far Cry 5. I'm just gonna finish up some stuff first, okay? I'm just gonna check some real quick, and if I'm good on that thing that I have to check, then we'll get going on Far Cry 5. If not, then I'll do that thing first, and then I'll come back for Far Cry 5. Yeah, I was in the stream here, but I'll send you like a party invite, alright? I'm just not gonna send you yet. I'll go check that stuff real quick and then I'll be right back. But for now, stream is over. Gonna get ready for Far Cry 5. Fuck this game story mode. It's the last time I ever say it. Maybe. Wolf Dog out.